Hello, everybody. This is Ann with Ann Cooks Keto. We're on day 34 of 365 days of keto with Ann. So, if you saw my Facebook Live this morning, I teased that I was going to be making egg roll in a bowl or low carb stir fry. There's a few names for it, but it's one of our favorite foods. It's super easy, super tasty, lots of vegetables and protein. And I've had a few people ask me for, hey, can you make that egg roll in a bowl? So I'm going to go ahead and make it. It is, you can use, when you're doing egg roll in a bowl, there's a few different meats you can use. I'm using ground turkey. When I was at Costco, you can buy these big packages of ground turkey. I think there's 4 in a package. And so this is what I got right here. So I'm just kind of going through all 4 this week. So actually, I think we only have 3 this week. So this one is for egg roll in a bowl, and then I'm going to use the last one I have for our stuffed bell pepper soup, which is also a family favorite. So we're kind of doing some comfort food, classic keto dishes this week. So I'm going to go ahead and start the meat. So I have a big skillet, nice, really big skillet. I can't find my wok. I don't know. When you move a lot, things happen. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started, the meat started. I'm going to season it and then add some of the some of the vegetables, and then you just let it cook for a few minutes and you're done. It's that simple. So go ahead and turn on the burner. So I have it on medium for those of you that like to know exact temperatures. It's on medium heat. I use a gas stove. People that know me know I'm kind of a gas stove snob. So if you have an electric stove, same heat, medium. So let's get this in there. All right. So this is actually more than a pound. I think this is about a 1.25 pounds in here. It's definitely not a pound. So I'm going to go with maybe 1.33 pounds. So dump that in there. Put that over there. Okay, so break it up, and then while it's cooking, I like to put the seasoning on the meat, so it kind of really cooks into you really incorporate the flavor all throughout the meat, and it's not just sitting on top, so it's really cooked in. And some of the ingredients that we're going to use are just your classic Asian style ingredients, nothing crazy. So, I wrote out, I can never remember because I cook just so by taste. I don't usually follow a recipe, but I did write this out so that I could tell you exact measurements. So for salt, I'm doing 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. Well, that's pretty simple. And then I'm doing a full teaspoon of garlic, minced garlic. So let's put that in. So here's find the 1/2. Okay, so 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Okay, this out of the way. Then some ginger. So you can use fresh ginger. I just don't happen to have any fresh ginger, so I'm just going to use the dry. And I've used ginger so much in my baking, when I do baking contests. I seem to have a lot of dry ginger, so I try to use it up when I can. And then, I got this out. I didn't write it down on my recipe, but I like it spicy, and so does everyone else in my family. So I'm just going to put in just a little bit, just a shake of, couple shakes of cayenne pepper. The other spice we're going to put in there is sriracha. It adds a lot of flavor and spice without the carbs. Okay, and then we're doing a teaspoon of the garlic. Put that in there. I'm going to do a heaping teaspoon because I really like garlic. All right. Okay. So that's all the spices. Just stir that up, break up the meat. And I'm just going to show you how fast cooking at home can be. And it's so much more healthy and economical to do it at home, and it also gives you that time for your family too. It's not interrupted by, you know, restaurants and carry out. And so if you have the opportunity to cook at home, and all of these meals that I do on the video are, you know, they're fast. The only time that it's not fast is if it's something that you put together real fast, but then you let it cook for a while. You don't have to like continue to do anything other than just maybe stir it. So like my stuffed bell pepper soup is like that. It comes together really fast in the pot, but then I let it simmer for like 35 minutes. So, you know, you don't have to make that kind of food. Like the burgers I made last night, they were done in under 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. It was super fast. So on weeknights, you kind of want that. You got a lot going on for your family, or even just, you know, busy working adults. Okay, so while that's cooking, I'm gonna turn up the heat a little. It seems, maybe it's just a lot of meat. All right, so that's gonna sit there. I'll show you what else is gonna go in. So I usually have a 12-ounce package of coleslaw, or 14-ounce package. This is only 9. I don't know why I grabbed this one. I liked how colorful it was. So, you know, I always like to say, you know, eat your colors, eat your rainbow. So it has purple and carrots and white. And so that doesn't have enough cabbage in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in 2 cups of rice cauliflower. So when you think of stir fry, rice kind of goes with stir fry. And that rice cauliflower has a great texture. It's a lot like rice. So I'm gonna substitute the cabbage for some rice cauliflower. And I've done it before and I really liked it. Something else you could do if you don't want to use a ground meat is I've made this with shrimp. That is really, really good. Some leftover rotisserie chicken is awesome in here. You know, just any kind of meat that you think, any kind of protein. And for the veggies, I guess you just leave protein out if you don't want meat. It's so easy. So, okay. So I have 2 green onions that I'm going to put in. And then, so I'm going to mince those up. And I like an egg in mine, so I put that in at the last time, at the very end, because overcooking an egg kind of makes it fall apart. So we'll leave that to the end. Sometimes I put in chopped peanuts. I like that flavor. I'm not doing that today because I'm just trying to keep it a little bit lighter. And so that is not a great cutting board for this. Okay. So we'll chop these up super, super quick. All right. So those green onions are ready. I won't put them in until the meat is done cooking. And then we'll get those 2 things in. So some other things that are going to go in the pot, I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. There's a ton of flavor in sesame oil. And I'm putting in about a 1/4 cup of, I'm going to have to go I have more in the pantry, but a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. It doesn't have to be low sodium. Us keto people tend to run low on sodium. So this actually isn't low sodium. I bought the big container of soy sauce from a Chinese grocery store, and I just keep refilling this. I'll wash it and then I'll refill it. So it makes it nice. And let's see what else the last thing I'm gonna put in are sesame seeds. So I like that little crunch in there with the sesame seeds. So all of that's gonna go in here. I'm just gonna let this meat cook it's probably gonna take about 5 more minutes, and then we'll come back and finish putting it together and let it finish. Okay, everybody, so I finished browning the meat. It's all cooked through. And so I'm gonna start adding the rest of the vegetables in here. So we have the green onions that we chopped up. So I chopped up 2 green onions and put that in there. And then I have a bag of cabbage. So a bag of cabbage. I chose the tri-colored, so it has the purple, the white, and some green, and then it has a little bit of carrots in it. And let's see, I'm going to put in some rice cauliflower. This is frozen. You can buy it fresh, but I just I bought a big bag of this frozen rice cauliflower when I was at the market, so it lasts longer than the fresh. Okay, so there's that. And then we'll put in the oil. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. And then a tablespoon of sriracha. So if you don't like spicy, you'll want to skip this step because it is spicy. So there's that. And the last, and I just measured it out, so this is about 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. Let's pour that in. And then after you're done cooking, you can adjust it. You can add more of anything, salt, pepper, soy sauce, sriracha, any of those things. So I just like to get it started with that base and then let it cook for a while. Then I try it and see if I think it needs something else. So I'll let you see what this looks like. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna let that cook for a little bit, and then about 15 minutes, or as fast as the veg cooks down. The very last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scramble up this egg, and then I'm just gonna push all this off to the side and leave me one little section of pan and kind of scramble it really fast, and then stir it all in. So when that's ready, I'll come back and show you that, and then we'll be ready to eat.